You start fast. You're sprinting with your creative flow. You start to outpace your own breath, but you think this time it's going to be different. That somehow the sense of urgency and need to create desperately will lead to better follow through. But somewhere along the way you start to fizzle, maybe you stall, maybe you kind of ghost your own project and you start to call it procrastination or self-sabotage. But what if it's not self-sabotage? What if the real reason why you aren't finishing the projects that you start, you aren't staying deeply devoted in the way that you know you want to that will lead to the success that you crave? What if that's all because you're just moving too damn fast to stay with yourself? Becoming a magnetic, successful, and embodied creative is not about discipline. It's all about nervous system capacity. It's all about being able to stay connected to yourself and to keep giving from a place of depth, not pressure. So if you've ever felt like you've struggled with procrastination, self-sabotage, and the fear of failure holding you back as a multi-passionate creative, this video is for you. I want to speak to just this culturally adopted myth of success being created off of the speed from which you create. And inside of that, I want to talk about what's actually happening inside your nervous system via hustle culture, and talk about why slowing down is truly the fastest way to finish. So if you're new here, my name's Kev. I'm an award-winning furniture designer, architectural designer, and I help ambitious creatives get into their body, become emotionally intelligent and resilient so that they can create better work, better projects, and better businesses. So let's just unpack the cultural programming that is the elephant in the room. Hustle culture equates speed with value. The faster you can get something done is the better. Not to mention that just get it done better, cheaper, faster at all costs is sort of the name of the game. If someone can do it cheaper, they are better than you because they're getting the project. If someone can do it faster, they are better than you because they're getting the project. They are, X, Y, and Z. This creative pressure tells us that we'll lose the idea, we'll lose the paycheck, we'll lose the support, the encouragement, the whatever, if we don't rush to capture it. But speed will bypass our own somatic integration. So we start to create from urgency, not our aliveness. And by somatic integration, I mean feeling into an idea and feeling into how it wants to move uniquely through you, not how you think it should move because the world needs it right now, and if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it, steal your idea, and make $1 million. You can bet your sweet cheeks that if you have an idea, somebody else has that same idea right now. That's just how consciousness works. I believe that the divine, that just life, wants to see through beautiful creative projects into the world, into the matter, into form, and it's looking for those who are open enough and capable enough to make that happen. So if the idea has come to you, whether from the inside or the outside, you can be sure that it's also gone to someone very similar like you. So you don't have to worry about that idea coming to fruition, coming to earth. It will happen. It's just, are you going to be the one who's going to make it what only you uniquely can make it? Through your devotion, through your aliveness, right? But when we rush, we throw all of that out the window. We abandon the very part of us that attracted, magnetized, generated that idea, that project, that relationship, that connection in the first place. So what happens? Our creativity becomes a little forced, it becomes urgent, it becomes dysregulated, and we don't feel the same safety to continue. So we create this disconnection from this pressure of speed. And like I said in the last video, disconnection is the death of creative follow-through and execution. So let's talk about what's actually happening inside of your nervous system, right? The embodied truth is that your nervous system is either going to be operating in fight or flight or a sense of regulation, of ventral vagal, right? Your flow and attunement. So we have urgency and force and flow and attunement. And yes, it's a spectrum. We kind of oscillate between the two, but it would be helpful to frame it like this so that you can be honest about where you're operating from. Starting a project from that place of adrenaline will often lead to collapse. We got all these hormones that are basically stilting up our creativity. We got adrenaline, we got cortisol, we got epinephrine, all these drugs that are hormones essentially pumping through our body that are basically jacking up artificially our creative capacity. But our system is not wired to sustain that. That is very short-term survival mechanism. Now, if that's what you want to build a business, curate an entire art show from, or just a sustainable, lifelong creative practice, chances are that's not how you're going to want to operate, and chances are you already know what burnout feels like. And I want to help you not avoid burnout, I just want to help you learn how to honor your body. I don't want to help you avoid anything, I just want to help you be connected to yourself. So sustainable creativity requires resourcing. And what I mean by that is internal safety, slowing down, breath, and giving spaciousness to your life, your state of being, your creative projects, and people that you love, everything that you love, right? Rushing is going to trigger that deeper response of not enough. I'm not enough, there's not enough. If I don't do it now, it's going to be lost forever. That's not a really sustainable place of expression. That's not where creative mastery is made available to us. So despite you maybe operating from that place and thinking you're being productive, you're just abandoning your true sense of connection mid-process, midway through. So you might think that you're starting off strong, which you might, but if you lose yourself along the way, who's going to be around to celebrate, to make the right decisions, to really stay deeply connected through the whole process, right? If you left yourself at mile 1 and you're running a marathon and you're on mile 6, what good is it, right? If you've just left the building, left the body, there's no you there to really stay committed, embodied, present, and discerning, right? So now let's talk about why slowing the fuck down is medicine and why it truly is the fastest way to the life that you crave, to finishing the projects that are left unfinished, and to just creating a really nourishing relationship with your own creativity. So slowing down, in my eyes, means staying with your body long enough to hold the pose, hold the project to completion through all of the different textures. Because you might have beginner's luck where it's smooth at the beginning, but inevitably we're gonna hit roadblocks, we're gonna hit obstacles, we're gonna hit some crunchiness, some slipperiness, and that's okay. That's part of the process. The more that we can learn to hold ourselves and stay connected, letting ourselves get activated, of course. The goal isn't to just be completely at peace and regulated. That's not what regulation means. You can be having an emotional experience, you can be frustrated, you can be angry, you can be whatever, and be deeply connected to yourself and use your tools to come back, but that's still regulation, right? But being able to hold that pose through those textures and hold the project and your devotion to it so that you can complete, that really is what slowing down is being able to have that capacity to hold that pose and that texture. And again, to stress, like, completion isn't an action. It's really this edge, right? It's an edge that represents our current sort of nervous system threshold of what we are available to sustain. because we don't complete something unless we are sustaining our own ability to show up and stay connected. So pacing your process allows for that deeper integration, better decision making, and a sustainable energy that will carry you through all of those inevitable hiccups, turbulences, or just the general length of time that it takes to create anything valuable in today's day and age. Because you have to step out of the I'll be an overnight success, or I'll do this for a month and it's all going to work out. I hate to break it to you, but as a creative, as an artist, as a business owner, you need to think at minimum in terms of a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then go on to 10 years, 50 years, whatever you want to focus on, right? But you need to give yourself enough time to see enough textures and flavors of your own process, your own internal landscape, and how that's interacting with the world around you through your creativity, to be able to really make good decisions, to be able to see any tangible results, and to be able to track any real sort of inner shifts. So, slowness means staying connected long enough to bring the work to life without betraying yourself. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. So, if you want help slowing the fuck down, finishing projects that you start, and staying connected to yourself, I invite you to check out the Embodied Creator Toolkit. The link's in the description below. And you can always resource yourself with my free newsletter. That's where every week you get stories, and heaps of people appreciate the wisdom and practices available in there. And subscribe to this YouTube channel for more content like this. So I appreciate you all so much for being here. Stay so well, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.